Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. As you may notice, we are missing Jeff and Stephen and Noelle and Jessica. I think we wore them out after last week. Actually, Jeff and Stephen are both out of town, and Noelle and Jessica couldn't be here with us, but we are glad you're here. And for our opening music, we have a special video to share with you that's entitled Love Has No Limits.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. She keeps me warm. She keeps me warm.
My heart doesn't see race.
Love has no age limit.
That's my best friend.
We are neighbors and best friends.
We all have different religions, but we have universal love as well.
I love my sister.
Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Indeed. We welcome you this morning, whether you're in the service with us today or whether you're joining us from out there in virtual land. We're glad that you're here with us and celebrating the energy, the way in which we connect with each other, which is that energy of love. It is the love that Jesus taught and demonstrated, the kind of love that sometimes stretches us out of our comfort zones, and yet it is indeed this energy of love that can change the world. We're so grateful that you're here with us, and I just wanted to express my regret about last Sunday. It is, still, even in Unity, one of the biggest Sundays of the year, and it did not go as we had planned. We had technical issues both in the live streaming part and in-house here, and I just want to appreciate all of those who helped us, who tried to troubleshoot, who made the show go on regardless of what was happening, and especially our band and our musicians, because I know that they put a lot of time and energy into creating a beautiful Sunday experience for you. And I hope that wherever you were and however you experienced it, it had that ability to inspire you as we move forward in new and raised consciousness in our lives. Gratefully, yesterday we had a celebration of life for Karen Toon, one of our members, and it went off beautifully, and I'm going to know today also does the same, and we're blessed that her family left us with some flowers to grace our sanctuary today. Just continue to pray with us that we have the technology and the wisdom to move forward in this new way of being, in this new way of sharing the Sunday experience, however you might choose to join us. And I invite you to just join me for a moment to center into this time, into this experience, to feel your body as it is supported by the chair. That energy of grounding moving down through your feet into the earth, and also that energy of divine love moving up and through you out the top of your head, connecting you with all of life, connecting us one to another, whether we're in the same place physically or in different parts of the country or the world. We are grateful for this opportunity to continue to grow and to explore and to expand our spiritual consciousness. We're grateful for each person here and for the gifts and the love that they bring to this community. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen.
Good morning. Today's value is inclusion. At Center of Unity, our motto is free of judgment, full of love. So with open minds and open hearts, we accept everyone who enters here. Today's principle is the first principle of unity. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives, God the good omnipotent. Today's daily word is imagination. I imagine limitless possibilities. In childhood, my imagination helped me see fascinating shapes and wondrous creatures in cloud formations. Picking up a twig, I might have pretended I held a wand that could give me magical powers. An ordinary packing box would become a vessel to sail on or under the seas, an aircraft to fly higher than mountains, or even a spaceship I could fly to explore the stars. Much more than whimsy, imagination is a potent spiritual tool. I use my imagination with intention to give shape to my dreams and goals. Although my childhood may be a memory, I am grateful that I can still use my imagination to create life of my dreams as I envision possibilities beyond the reality I know and the world I see. From Luke 10:24, for I tell you that many prophets and kings desired to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it.
Tomorrow will do. our own wounds. We can use our own names. If we only have love, we can melt all the guns and then give the new world to our daughters and sons. If we only have love, then Jerusalem stands, and then death has no shadow. There are no foreign lands. If we only have love, we will never bow down. We'll be tall as the pines, neither heroes nor crowns. If we only have love, then we'll only be men, and we'll drink from the grail to be born once again. Then with nothing at all but the little we are, we will conquer all time, all space, the sun and the stars.
Thank you, Audrey. So today we're beginning a new series called Adventures in Resilience. Feels like this is a good time that we're really wanting to rebuild our resilience after all we've gone through this past year. The subtitle is Ignite the 12 Powers in You. And it's based on this book by Reverend Sharon Connors. She's a Unity minister. And it's an updated look at the 12 powers, first introduced by our co-founder, Charles Fillmore, in the 1930s. I like the book because it gives a lot of practical ideas and tools and ways that we can, in this day and age, activate these powers within us so that we can move through whatever shows up with greater flexibility and greater ease. Our ability to be focused on these powers is what can support us in our own ability to be resilient. You know, dictionary.com defines resilience as our ability to recover readily and easily, whether it's from illness, depression, adversity, or any other challenge that shows up. Merriam-Webster had a slightly different definition, and it was that it is our ability to recover or adjust easily to misfortune or even just plain old change. You know, one of the things that we can always count on is there's going to be change. The 12 spiritual powers that we are going to be exploring over these next several weeks give us a way to practice and to evolve those powers within us in order for us to be able to move with this flexibility and ease. The author, Reverend Sharon, writes, with practice, and that's the key to all of this, is it doesn't happen just because we think about it. We really have to be able to put these into practice. Our inherent spiritual capacities mature so that we intuitively know how to handle baffling and difficult circumstances. We needed all the power we had last week to move through these difficult circumstances that invariably wash up in our lives. They're going to show up. So our ability to be able to navigate with a greater sense of light and grace is what we are practicing and why we are awakening these powers within us. Just as physically and mentally, we have to continue to exercise our bodies, we have to build that resilience within our bodies. Spiritual practices, as we exercise them, keep us spiritually fit. And as long as we have recorded human history, spiritual masters have spoken of this indwelling, inherent, innate light within each person. At times, it may be totally blocked by our own disassociation from it, and yet we are assured that as we focus on it, as we acknowledge that indwelling light, it has the power to transform not just our lives, but our world. It's like that analogy of electricity. You know, we know, intellectually anyway, even though we can't see it, that electricity is flowing all the time where there are electrical lines running. And yet, we can't really tap into that electricity unless we plug it in. It may be there, but until we plug it in, then it is of no use to us. And in that same way, we can trust that as we plug in to these inherent powers within us, as we shift and recognize their presence, like electricity, that power comes alive and is able to move and flow through us. It is able to be expanded and draw more and more of that inherent power that is present for us all the time. Jesus spoke about this numerous times, the light, this inherent light within us. In Matthew 5:14, he tells those who are standing before him, and I'm reading out of the Message Bible, here's another way to put it. You're here to be light, bringing out the God colors in the world. God is not a secret to be kept. We're going public with this, as public as a city on a hill. If I have made you all light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide it under a basket? I'm putting you on a light stand. And now that I've put you up on this hilltop, on this light stand, shine. Keep open house. Be generous with your lives. By opening up to others, you'll prompt people to open up with God, this generous Father in heaven. You know, in the ancient Eastern world, they understood this indwelling light and these centers of power in terms of the 7 chakras. And there might be different variations of this, but these were developed and understood some 1,500 years before Jesus was born. So this idea has been implanted in our human consciousness for a very long time. They came primarily out of India through the religious practice of Hinduism. And these 7 centers, it was believed, could be activated to bring greater light into their being and their connection with the divine. They got introduced here in the Western world in the mid-1800s. And the number 7, again, through the eons of human consciousness, has held mystical significance. It is across time, across religions, and throughout nature. From 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 seas, 7 days of the week, 7 notes on the musical scale, creation is described in terms of 7 days. There's 7 steps that led to Solomon's temple, which was built in 7 years. There are 7 pillars of wisdom, 7 deadly sins, 7 branches to the tree of life in Kabbalistic Judaism. In the Sufi tradition, God-mind unfolds in a 7-step process. And in Native American, in the medicine wheel, there are 7 sacred direction. So 7 is a number that represents that divine connection. However we have put form around it, it is one of those mystical numbers, and spiritually represents physical completion. Charles Fillmore was certainly introduced to the chakras in all of his studies that he did across world religions and in his early spiritual exploration, and I believe used this idea to build upon what he developed as the 12 powers. What he believed, when activated, was the key to spiritual completion, and represented by the number 12 as that mystical number of spiritual completion. And again, 12 is one of those numbers we see show up in so many different areas of life. There are 12 months in a year. There are 12 major and minor keys in music. AA has a 12-step process. There were 12 tribes of Israel. And of course, what Charles was linking these 12 powers with is the disciples. So there were 12 disciples that he attributed each of these powers to. And he introduced them into unity in the 1930s when he published his book. And he wrote that to understand the 12 powers, these 12 faculties, we have to know that they are the 12 expressions of the one power we call God, and the one power of the Christ within each of us. What is meant by the Christ is the fully awakened, fully realized human being. Charles viewed the 12 disciples as symbolically representative of the 12 faculties of mind, or these 12 powers within us. And he believed that just as Jesus called each of the disciples when he began his work, each disciple represented one of those spiritual faculties, so that Jesus needed all of the spiritual faculties with him as he did his work here on earth. This morning, we're just doing an overview of these 12 powers. We're going to, over the next several weeks, go in more depth about them, but I wanted, for those who this might be new to them, at least to have an understanding. So this chart up here, and it's probably too small for you to read out here in the sanctuary. Hopefully those at home can do this a little more fluidly. So the first power that he identified is the power of faith. And each of these has a place in our body, and they have a color associated with them and a disciple associated with them. But in the body, it's located in the pituitary gland, and it represents where and what we put our faith in. The next power is strength at the base of the spine, and it fuels the activities of all of the other powers. Understanding is in the frontal lobe here and supports us in expanding our own spiritual awareness and understanding of these divine concepts. Power here at the throat is the power of our thoughts to become words and to become form. Love, which is the one we universally all recognize in our heart space. When we think about the heart, it pumps vitality through all of the body. And when the spiritual power is active, it pumps that spiritual power through all of our being. It is what gives us vigor. It is what gives us the energy and the fuel to do the work that is ours to do. Imagination is up in the head again in the pineal gland, and it allows us to have beautiful, inspiring pictures of possibilities. Wisdom, which is where we would often, in layman's term, locate in our gut, in that place where the intestines meet, sorts out what is nourishing to our spirit and what is not. Will, again in our frontal lobe, is our ability to shift from our oftentimes unreliable self-will to that will of God, or what I like to call the soul's will. Order is in our abdomen, and it helps to fine-tune our thinking and our emotions and our attitudes and our perceptions. There is release that is at the bottom of our tailbone, and that is what gives us the power to say no to what no longer serves us. One that I think is vital, at least I found it to be vital in my own spiritual journey, is zeal. Not a word you hear as often today. Another way of saying that might be enthusiasm, because we need that enthusiasm to sometimes do those difficult things. It's in the occipital lobe, and it moves us out of stuck conditions. It's that energy that says, yes, I can step in and do something and experience something and take action in a way that I haven't up until now. And then the final power is entitled life, and it is located in the area of our sexual organs, and it is our creative vitality. It is our power to create life itself. As we activate these 12 powers within us, our own internal light begins to shine more brightly. And as our light shines more brightly, it invites others to recognize, to want to explore their own indwelling light. I tell people one of the best ways that you can call people into a greater way of being is to be an example of it. When people see that you can navigate through life and it doesn't throw you off and it doesn't shut you down, they'll want some of that. They'll be going, what are you doing that allows you to not be as stressed out as the rest of us are about the events that are happening? What is it that you're doing that allows you to see a different perspective from everyone else? In her book, Your God-Given Potential, another one that's been around for a while, and there are about 10 or 12 different books on the 12 powers. It is one of Unity's iconic teachings. But I like this one because it's just got an updated understanding. It was written during times of the pandemic, so it brings in very uniquely what we've just been experiencing and to some extent moving through. And she writes this: our work is to transmute the natural powers, and here's what I like, what she says, starting with wherever you are in this moment in consciousness. So you don't have to be a spiritual master in order to do this. You start right where you are. As you transmute these natural powers into spiritual powers, we are designed to express these then for the fulfillment of our Christ potential. Each faculty is discovered first as an intellectual concept, so we get it up here first, and then as we explore this concept, as we nurture it through prayer, and as it gradually grows from a spiritual idea into a spiritual realization, we begin to experience this place where we are no longer separate. And we have a greater realization of our oneness with God and with that God power that we have each been born into. It allows us to express all that we do and say under the guidance and under the direction of that indwelling Christ. You know, our mission here at Center of Unity is to inspire spiritual growth. We do it in a number of ways, but certainly one of those ways is through education. And also, that education is about practice, because that's the way we really call it forth. When I first began my spiritual journey here at Center of Unity some 20 plus years ago, one of the first classes that I attended was 12 Powers class. And it was so exciting for me to discover that I had within me, I had power within me. And there were ways in which I could begin to really tap into that power to move through all the different challenges in my life. And then it's almost like the same coin flipped the other way. It was also a little bit, I don't know if depressing was the right word. It was also challenging because I all of a sudden realized too that I have the self-responsibility. It was no longer their fault out there why life was happening the way it was happening, how I was experiencing and perceiving it. I had the power to begin to build muscle and to show up and to understand and to see life in a different way. And I certainly pray that today you are inspired to invest some of your time and some of your energy in building some resilience so that however this new way of being and this new normal in our world is unfolding, you have the ability to show up in a way that allows for greater flexibility and that allows you to feel a greater sense of ease. One of the ways that we're offering you to begin practicing is through our caring circles. They're starting this week. We have a number of different groups happening. You can just go out on our website or on the app and look and see if there's a group that might work for you, because by showing up each week, by going deeper, by hearing other people's successes and challenges with these, it is that opportunity to really practice putting and energizing these powers into play in our lives. And so I invite you this morning, right where you're at, to join with me as we begin to shine the light, that inner light, on these 12 faculties, on these indwelling powers, as we move into a time of meditation. So just right where you are, I invite you to just get comfortable. Let your mind go with all of the thoughts that you've been having as you've been hearing these words and thinking about how they might show up in your life. And as you focus on your breath as it naturally and easily moves in and out of your body, let that breath remind you that in every inhale and exhale, the power and the presence of God is infused, is moving in and through you. And as you feel your body begin to relax, and your mind and the thoughts flowing through it begin to slow, see if you can't bring all of your attention to your heart space, that place in the middle of your chest, almost as if you're breathing in and out of your heart. Science shows us that when we can actively, consciously breathe in and through our hearts, it brings a cohesion to all of the organs, to all of the physical activities in our body, in our mind, and indeed in our spirits. And as you take a moment to place your attention in the area of your head, know that the faith faculty is activated as soon as you place your attention on it. It begins to pulse and to grow and to brighten. And then moving your attention to the bottom of your spine where that faculty of strength is located. Again, just by, through your intention, becoming aware of it, it comes to life, re-energizing, revitalizing, growing brighter. Moving back up to the head, to this awareness of divine understanding, expanded spiritual awareness, we activate the faculty of understanding. And moving to our throat area, we place our attention on that power faculty, seeing it growing, so that we are spiritually energized to say yes to those things that serve us and no to the things that no longer serve us. Shifting down into your heart space. See that energy center of love continuing to grow and expand until it fills your entire body and begins to move out into the room in ever expanding ripples. And then we energize the faculty of imagination located back in our head space. This is the place where we can claim, as Jesus did, all things are possible. When it's linked with our faith, we can do whatever it is that we choose to do. And down in our gut, we activate that faculty of wisdom, that ability to welcome and infuse our bodies and minds and spirits with what nourishes us, and to release that which no longer serves us. The will faculty located in our head space, when it is fully activated, allows us to align our will with our soul's will, with God's will, so that we can truly be in this world with passion and with purpose. And that faculty of order back down in our abdomen area allows us to filter and fine-tune and be in touch with our attitudes and perceptions so that understanding can help us see them more clearly. And release, that center of release, is our faculty to really let everything go that's not a part of our journey in this moment. We generate that center of enthusiasm, that allows us to move, especially through areas we may feel stuck in. And as it brightens and shines, we feel that sense of zeal sizzling through our entire being. And we recognize that power of life, the very thing that infuses us and animates our body and animates our creativity to build, to conquer, to create all that we need for the full and deep experience of life, not just as a human being, but as a spiritual being. Feel your body glowing as all of these centers are spinning at a new rate, are opened, and are beckoning you to step into light and to life with the powers in which you have been gifted, and shine them brightly to inspire others to do the same. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and space, Aware once again of the chair that's supporting you. You might even want to wiggle your toes and your fingers just to bring your whole awareness back. Body, mind, and spirit. You bring with you this energized and engaged and activated power to take into the world. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You know, those of you who have been around Unity for any length of time, this is probably not new information for you. I'm sure there's been many classes and probably messages around the 12 powers. There's certainly been many books written about them. And all of them, as well as this series, will have a slightly different perspective to them. So I invite you, wherever you are in your spiritual understanding and unfoldment, to approach this series with fresh eyes and fresh ears. If you hear your mind saying, oh, I already know that, trust me, you don't fully know it yet, or you'd be walking around like a beacon of light wherever you went. So there's always more to be revealed in this journey to realize our Christ potential. And I want you to begin this week as we start this series with a simple question. And just as often as you can think about it, I invite you to just see what shows up when you ask this question to your mind and to your heart. What or where am I putting my faith in right now? What or where am I putting my faith in right now? See if you could do it when you're joy-filled. See if when you're struggling or you're having a challenge, ask yourself, what or where am I putting my faith in right now? It's not to chastise yourself. It's not to give yourself a pat on the back, but it's just for an awareness. So whatever it is, make that okay. I see. That's what I'm putting my faith in right now. And then I invite you to join us as we discover lots of different practices, lots of different ways in which we can be supported in stepping in to our own innate power. Next week, we're going to start with faith and with strength, and I hope that you'll join us, whether it's in here in the sanctuary or out there in the virtual world. Thank you. Audrey.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky.
Thank you, Audrey. Thank you for being flexible and willing to join us. We just got this worked out last week, and I also wanted to share with you for, did I step in when no, I didn't. You're doing offertory. Like, did I get the order of service wrong? I'm good. That for those of you who have been around for a while, Byron Holder is going to be here next Sunday to do special music for us, so I'm excited about that. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our tithes and our offerings with Center of Unity. And I just invite you to bring to that heart power, that energy of gratitude. That's one of the ways that the heart center gets activated the most quickly is through that energy of gratitude. Gratitude for all that is flowing in and through your lives and in and through the life of Center of Unity. We have been so blessed to have the funds to begin this process of updating our sanctuary with audio and video. We're continuing to do that. Our next phase is going to be cameras and to replace our 15-year-old sound system. So just affirm with me that all that we need to do what is ours to do flow in and to us with grace and with ease. After we bless our gifts, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row. This is a little different the way we're doing it. And as you come up, you will place your gift in the basket and then receive an affirmation to bless you this week. And even if you give through our committed giving program or electronically, you can either select one of the little cards that say that you give in that way that are in the little seat pockets in front of you, or you can just simply place your hands over the basket and add your energy to it, and then of course receive an affirmation. And if you're physically unable to come forward, there is a basket at the back that you can leave your gift in on your way out. And for those of you watching us at home, this is an excellent opportunity as we get to hear in a moment Bob share his gift of music with us, just to feel and be in that flow of gratitude and abundance. So join with me now as we bless these gifts together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying the service as much as I have. We'd like to welcome everyone this morning once again. If you're watching us for the first time, we're glad you've chosen us, and we invite you to visit our website to fill out the Connect card. If you're visiting us for the first time, we welcome you, and we invite you to pick up a pamphlet that will tell you all about unity at the back of the sanctuary. So thank you for being with us. And we'd also like to share some appreciation this morning. Today we appreciate Nick Bell, Sherry Pratt, and Jeff Holland, all of whom make our services possible. Working as a team, they've adapted to our recent changes to ensure that we reach everyone virtually and as well as in person, overcoming a few glitches along the way. So to Nick, Sherry, and Jeff, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Join us for our new Sunday series where we will take a fresh look at the classic Unity teachings of the 12 powers and how you can practice these gifts in your daily life. The Caring Circle's small groups will meet for a deeper exploration of the book from our Sunday series. There are 4 different groups available, so visit our website or the COU app to sign up. The book is available in our bookstore. Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., Michelle Accardo will host the Compassionate Communication Group on Zoom. We'll practice nonviolent communication and have an opportunity to receive empathy and get clear on feelings, needs, and making doable requests. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Be sure to stop by the bookstore to take advantage of the spring clearance sale. There are many items available for the price of a love offering or at a 40% discount. If you shop during the week, you can enjoy an additional 10% discount. New merchandise will be coming soon to enhance your spiritual journey. Looking for something fun to do this Friday night? Then join us on Zoom at 7 p.m. where we will play games, share stories, and have a blast. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Adult Sunday School meets after church on Zoom from 12 to 12:45 p.m. Be sure to join us as we discuss today's message. All are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m., Reverend Linda leads a metaphysical Bible interpretation class on Zoom. Each class is self-contained and all are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Every Sunday, we gather on Zoom before church to say hi and catch up. Come join us from 10 to 10:25 a.m. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, use the COU or Venmo app, or you can text 817-606-8768 and follow the prompts. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right, we're going to ask you to stand. We're going to sing our peace song and speak our prayer for protection and then go out. We've got a Keurig machine and some chairs out there by the fountain, even though we haven't opened up Fellowship Hall completely yet. If you want to stay and visit and connect with people you haven't seen in a while, or if you're new to us and just want to get to know us, I'll be out there, and I'm offering, once again, free masked hugs after the service. I'll be out in the courtyard. All right, let's sing our peace song. Ready?
As
as we go inspired to activate those innate powers within us this week, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you next Sunday, if not before.